Welcome to Breakout Con 2024. People in line. Some vendors. World Series of Board Game.
Yes.
Because I'm not.
Fantastic looking games in here. This is the Dominion room where the board game library exists, and where I've been volunteering. It's still pretty early in the morning. We can see it's slowly starting to fill up. We got an extensive library. This game here, Path of Civilizations, is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic demonstrators over here as well. Been killing it, doing a great job.
I'd say there could be fluctuations. It could be as extreme as sometimes.
Ooh, what's the other
Do you
game?
want to try it in 5 minutes?
What's on the board?
Yes, well, there's a thing I'm gonna go to, but I definitely want to come back and try.
Okay. Thank you.
Generally speaking, red smells. They'll always do something.
Shall we,
Got these people yesterday, very nice. They actually rent board games, which is super cool. Lineups are starting to build up now. No idea this half of Breakout even exists.
The games that they work on, and 3 people there after their design group. They'll start down here with another row.
It's punishment for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, my name is Jonathan LaValle. I've been a game designer for 20 years. I do RPGs, I do board games, I do card games, I do the gamut. Recently, we just put out Behext with Spark and Dagger Games.
Hi, I'm Tim Brown. I've been designing games for 20 years.
I'm Jeff, as mentioned. I'm a rulebook editor and game developer. I've only been designing for about 5 years, so I'm the odd one out there. My latest game was co-designed the Fox Experiment with
Game rocks.
which actually is just going back to GamePound for a reprint. It's going up next Wednesday. If anyone's interested.
You got it. Yeah. I'm Eric. I've been designing games for 25 years.
You win.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alara Cameron. I've been making games for like 12 years, but professionally designing for 8. Most of my work has been with intellectual properties. Like my first game was Legend of Korra. My most recent game is based on Kingdom Rush. And I've developed for companies as old and non-existent now as Z-Man Games.
My name is David Van Drunen, they, them. I've been designing games for about 10 years now. I did Gnomes at Midnight, Cute Little Abstract, and Block and Key, which you can actually play here.
Okay, so we're going to start off to break the ice a bit. I'm going to go down the row and get everyone to answer what is one piece of advice that you never seem to be able to have time to talk about when you're on one of these panels. And then after that, we're going to go to audience questions. So let's start, go right back to David this time.
All right. I guess the main thing I would say is don't take it personally. The best advice you want are the people that aren't going to hold back, aren't going to aren't going to be mean, but aren't going to coddle you into making a bad game?
I would say get comfortable with experimentation. So if you're stuck, or if you're not stuck, just change something. Every change doesn't have to be perfect. The next iteration of your game doesn't have to be the final iteration. And you can learn a lot from seeing how changing something affected the experience. Yeah, just try stuff and then think about it.
There are as many paths, successful career paths in game design as there are game designers. There's a almost infinite sea of right answers. There's very, very, very few wrong answers. And so with that in mind, to me, the most precious commodity that you can have is clarity. When you're starting as a game designer, you're not going to know this right off the bat, but it will help. It'll solve a lot of problems for you if you are very, very clear on what you want out of a game design career, which could include not a career. I just want to make a game, totally valid. And number two, and the more clear you can get about that, the better.
Don't forget that game design is an organic process and that everything and anything can change and often does. Don't lock yourself into a corner by limiting yourself to a feeling or idea that shaped the start of the game, as it may not end up anywhere near that.
Okay, so the bit of advice I have is incredibly functional, and it's learn how to use spreadsheets. And I say that because I know a lot of designers who don't, and they're like, spreadsheets, if you don't have to go like neck deep into everything, but just get some basic functionality, because it'll help you find things faster that you can still find in playtesting, but you will find, hey, we have a directional element in this game, and we realize we've put in more of one direction than another direction. We want it to be even. Or if you don't, that's fine. You're making a conscious decision at that point in time. It doesn't just kind of naturally happen. And on top of that, with spreadsheets, you can then export that data into whatever layout software you use to have it build all the cards for you really quickly, which is a lesson I learned far too late in what I was doing. Someone showed me that, and I basically had that moment of, that moment when you're just like, I've been doing it differently for so long, and I could have saved myself literally years of my life, and you hate yourself for it. That is that moment that happened when I learned that. So learn spreadsheets.
Just do be careful with spreadsheets because they are addictive. I spend far too much time
Pushing.
So how do you know when you're ready to actually put it in front of people and start getting that feedback?
Do it.
I'm gonna make Tim say it because he's got to clarify his
You can change the game while you're playing.
Yeah.
So get it to the table as soon as possible.
The answer is do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
We're all gonna give you the same one sentence answers.
No, we're not.
Playtest. All right. We're all except for Eric gonna say.
Do it asterisk.
Yeah.
And today I'm interviewing Jeff Fraser, an Ottawa-based editor, developer, and layout designer specializing in board game rules with over 100 published games in the past 7 years, including games such as The Fox Experiment, Flamecraft, and Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Jeff, it's an honor to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Les.